The Julio-Claudian Dynasty represents the first imperial family of ancient Rome, a period marked by extraordinary achievements, political intrigue, complex personalities, and events that defined the early trajectory of the Roman Empire. Its origins lie in the consolidation of power following the assassination of Julius Caesar in 44 BC, a pivotal moment that left Rome in political chaos and led to a series of civil wars as various factions vied for control. Augustus, originally named Gaius Octavius and later Gaius Julius Caesar Octavianus after his adoption by Caesar, emerged as the victor among these rivals. He skillfully maneuvered through a treacherous landscape of alliances and enmities, defeating Mark Antony and Cleopatra at the decisive Battle of Actium in 31 BC, and gradually consolidating power over the Roman state. By 27 BC, he established the Principate, a political system that maintained the outward forms of the Roman Republic, including the Senate, while effectively concentrating ultimate authority in the hands of the emperor. Augustus's reign, lasting until 14 AD, was characterized by both military and administrative reforms. He reorganized the army into a professional standing force, created a permanent bureaucracy to manage the provinces, and implemented laws to promote public morality and social stability. He was also a patron of the arts and literature, fostering a cultural revival that celebrated Rome's past glory and the new era of peace known as the Pax Romana. Poets such as Virgil, Horace, and Ovid immortalized his reign, portraying Augustus as a bringer of order, stability, and divine favor. Augustus's careful balance of public image, military command, and cultural influence allowed him to secure succession for his family, ensuring that the Julio-Claudian line would dominate Roman politics for decades. Following Augustus, the throne passed to Tiberius, his stepson and son-in-law, who reigned from 14 AD to 37 AD. Tiberius was an experienced military leader and competent administrator, known for his discipline and efficiency, particularly in managing the provinces and maintaining the empire's extensive borders. However, his reign was overshadowed by growing suspicion, paranoia, and the increasing centralization of power, often exercised through secretive networks and political purges. In the later years of his rule, Tiberius withdrew from public life and Rome itself, retreating to the island of Capri and leaving much of the administration in the hands of the ambitious praetorian prefect, Sejanus, whose eventual fall from power further fueled an atmosphere of fear and instability. Despite the negative perception of his later years, Tiberius maintained relative stability and continuity of governance, demonstrating that his cautious and methodical approach could sustain the structures established by Augustus. Caligula, officially named Gaius Julius Caesar Augustus Germanicus, succeeded Tiberius in 37 AD and ruled until 41 AD. His reign is remembered for extremes, eccentricities, and cruelty, though some ancient accounts exaggerate his behaviors. Initially, Caligula enjoyed immense popularity, introducing spectacles, games, and public entertainment while demonstrating generosity and accessibility to the people. However, his later years revealed a penchant for absolute power, marked by extravagant spending, arbitrary executions, and an obsession with being treated as divine. Historical sources describe his bizarre acts, including appointing a horse to the priesthood, although modern historians debate the accuracy of these claims, suggesting that political enemies may have influenced these portrayals. Caligula's assassination by members of the Praetorian Guard in 41 AD underscored the volatility of imperial rule and the critical importance of maintaining both political support and personal restraint. Claudius, Caligula's uncle, assumed power unexpectedly in 41 AD and ruled until 54 AD, despite being underestimated due to physical disabilities and perceived timidity. Contrary to expectations, Claudius proved an effective and pragmatic ruler. He expanded the empire, notably conquering Britannia, and undertook extensive reforms in law, governance, and infrastructure, including the construction of aqueducts, roads, ports, and public buildings that strengthened Rome's urban and provincial life. Claudius demonstrated shrewd political skill by balancing relations with the Senate, relying on capable freedmen for administration, and navigating court intrigues. His personal life, however, was fraught with complexity and manipulation, especially regarding his marriages, the most influential being to Agrippina the Younger, whose ambitions ensured the succession of her son Nero. Nero, ascending the throne in 54 AD at the age of 16, initially benefited from the guidance of capable advisors, including the philosopher-statesman Seneca and the prefect Burrus. His early reign was marked by cultural patronage, investment in infrastructure, and attempts to balance the interests of the Senate and the people. However, as Nero assumed full control, his rule became increasingly infamous for excess, tyranny, and cruelty, including the murders of his mother Agrippina, his stepbrother Britannicus, and other rivals. The Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD severely damaged the city, and although the historical record is debated, Nero's conduct during and after the fire, coupled with his persecution of Christians, cemented his reputation as a capricious and self-indulgent ruler. His eventual suicide in 68 AD marked the end of the Julio-Claudian Dynasty, ushering in the turbulent year of the four emperors and illustrating the fragility of a system heavily dependent on dynastic continuity and personal legitimacy. Throughout the Julio-Claudian dynasty, the intertwining of family, ambition, and imperial authority is a central theme. The emperor's personalities, from Augustus's prudence, Tiberius's discipline, and Caligula's excesses, to Claudius's administrative skill and Nero's destructive indulgence, profoundly influenced Rome's political and social landscape. The dynasty set critical precedents for governance, military command, legal administration, and cultural patronage, laying the foundation for the enduring structures of the Roman Empire. Succession relied heavily on adoption, intermarriage, and manipulation of heirs, reflecting the absence of formalized rules for imperial inheritance and the centrality of family strategy in maintaining power. Despite periods of instability, intrigue, and violence, the Julio-Claudians succeeded in stabilizing the empire after years of civil strife, consolidating borders, expanding Roman influence, and fostering cultural achievements that defined Roman identity for generations. Their reigns illustrate the delicate balance between autocracy, public perception, and institutional structures, highlighting that the endurance of the empire depended not only on military and administrative competence, but also on the moral, psychological, and symbolic authority of the emperor. Ultimately, the Julio-Claudian dynasty embodies both the potential heights of imperial power and the perils inherent in concentrating authority in a single family, leaving a legacy of political, cultural, and social significance that shaped the trajectory of Roman history for centuries.